This PSA was brought to you by the Peter G Show.
You may have second thoughts after the show.
Don't drink the faucet.
We're really talented. We should get Oscars.
Just pick out a car, for Christ's sake.
No, hi, my name is Peter. Yeah, I want. Here's good.
Yeah.
Madam Perry.
I need to get back in the genie bottle.
Louis from Pennsylvania, you're on. He likes it. It's showtime.
Peter G Show, Peter G Show, divorced dad, single dad, divorced dad, single dad, Peter G Show.
Dun, 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 dun. Hey, it is showtime. It is showtime. Scrambling like usual. I want to say it's a holiday rush, but it's just the norm. How the hell is everybody? I see that Dan, God bless you, Dan, waiting at the helm. Merry Christmas to you too, brother. Merry Christmas. There's a lot of that. I love Merry Christmas. I love. But glad you got a good seat. You got in early to get a good seat. So thank you. Wednesday, right here. Life with Peter G, the Peter G Show. Today, December 17th. 1 week till Christmas. But every Wednesday, like clockwork, 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central, and 9 p.m. on the East Coast. Most of all, God willing. I say that because I mean it. And that's what we're going to talk about, some things tonight. Like, life doesn't always happen the way you want it to, especially around the holidays. It seems to intensify things. But yeah, I'll be sitting in this seat 1 week from tonight, Christmas Eve. Be spending Christmas Eve. I'll talk to you about that in a minute. But yeah, that's what we're going to do. Can't get any better than that. But tonight, I am doing my last little stretch on the hardships for a lot of people going through the holidays. Because I got to tell you, just this week alone, personally, I've experienced friends who have just recently had a loss and friends of mine who are no longer here. That's one portion or one way of hardships. You know, especially during the holidays. It's like, it's bad enough having to go through this stuff in general, but it just is so amplified during the holidays. Because the holidays, let's face it, man, who does not want to be, happy and love and family and friends? It's like, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. We're all supposed to be together happily, but it doesn't unfortunately always happen that way. It's not always that way, and it is not always that way. And again, this week alone, people in my circle have experienced loss of a loved one this week alone. It's not only about losing people, missing people that were in your life, your family, your parents, your brothers, sisters, children, sadly, but there's all kinds of, struggles through the holidays. People that are estranged, they don't have connections with people anymore. People going through hard times financially. It's the norm. It sucks. It happens, but on Christmas, it just amplifies at the holidays, Thanksgiving. I talk about this stuff all the time because it's, in my opinion, worthy of talking about. It's because I come back to the old adage, you're not alone. I get it. We get it. And maybe you want to talk about it. Maybe I'm going to turn the phones on early. And if anybody wants to call in and just share some experiences or talk about their struggles or talk about a past and how they've overcome it, I'm in. I really hope that somebody calls in and talks about this stuff, because you have no idea that possibly sharing your story, your experience, might be helping somebody else that's listening and going, wow. Speaking of somebody else that's listening, my brother. Da 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 da. How's it going, Calex? Are you making my special meth pie that I like? Man. Thank you for tuning in. Stick around. I'm going to open up the phones later. Maybe you might be in the mood to share a story. But Merry Christmas, brother. But that's what we're going to do tonight. I got a few videos of the up-to-date life crap that we're going through, and I feel it's important too, and I'm probably going to end up playing them. But this is the whole, this is the main event, is getting through the holidays. There's, God knows, I watch Facebook like a fiend. And again, I hone in on Facebook because, number one, Facebook is doing really well. You guys keep on hitting that follow button. If you're strange and new to the show, do me a favor. Go to the official Peter G Show page and hit the follow button. You can comment if you're on the official Peter G Show page, just like Calex did, and Daniel. Dan's been a veteran. I've been thinking about it. Dan, you've been watching at least since 2018. That's pretty damn good. If there's an award to give out, it's going to you. You're one of them that's going to be a recipient. Putting up with me. But hitting the follow buttons and stuff like that. We're past 70,000 people now just that are officially following the show. Although, as I said, and I will continue to say, the analytics say that there's 12 times that many people on Facebook that view the show. But officially following, about 71,000 right now. I really would like to see it go over 100, real soon here. So just do me a favor, hit it. I'll try to make it worthy of. But I'll take that over 500,000 viewers just on Facebook. And I'll tell you why I like Facebook so much. Why I like Facebook is because, just like this, Pensacola in the house, another person that is true blue, tunes in, pays attention. What he thinks about it, I don't know. But Pensacola in the house. What's up, my brother? How's that knee holding up? But no jogging for you. But this is what makes the show. And again, YouTube, I want you to hit the subscribe on YouTube. I need all the help I can get. And I see that my people that are commenting from YouTube, which is great. I need all of those. It makes it better for me to be able to bring better stuff for you. Believe it or not, the show costs money. And this is nothing compared to what I want to do. Still working at it. I want to do show stuff. Da, 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 da. I wish I could be more with the fun entertainment as opposed to the real life agony stuff. But the fun entertainment, believe it or not, costs more money than doing what I feel is a more honorable thing and talking about real life. But I like regular entertainment, man. I just, people want to be happy. God knows there's no late night shows that are entertaining anymore. Unless, Gutfeld. I think Gutfeld's funny if you watch that. Other than that, everything else is just bashing. But they can't even bash fun, with really good jokes to bash with. Gutfeld has some good writers. They're bashing, but they're funny. Funny. They're good jokes. The jokes are free. Anyway, that's what we're doing tonight. But I do want to talk to you about next week. Next week is Christmas Eve, Wednesday, December 24th. And I'm going to spend it right here for those who may want to spend it with us. And on top of that, I'm going to pretty the place up a bit. And I'm going to bring Miss Tony Green on the show with me just to hang out and cut up, because she's a hoot, I think. Psychic medium, celebrity psychic medium Tony Green is going to be on the show just to sit in. And if those of you who spent Thanksgiving Eve with me, she was on the show. She kills me. Because as serious as she is with her gift that she has when if you really see her in action. But when she's on this show, I kind of mess with her. So I take the blame for, we don't really focus on too much about, her psychic abilities stuff. And I just have her on here for the entertainment. Although I have had her on the show for her psychic ability, but this time I invited her. I said, just come spend Thanksgiving Eve with me, Christmas Eve with me, and New Year's Eve with me. And she said yes. So I just want somebody to bounce off of. And she's just easy to make smile. And again, and sometimes the reactions from her or the things that come out of her mouth just kill me. So I just think it's entertaining. And I think that Christmas Eve is a real intimate evening. It's again, another evening that everybody wants to be around, the quietness of Christmas, you hope to have. And those of you who have snow, I mean, I used to experience that when I was a young kid and grew up in Connecticut. I mean, just the snow and the sounds, the streets sound differently, the lights, all that kind of stuff. It's a nice feeling. But we're going to be here. I chose to not take off, and we're going to be here Christmas Eve and just enjoy the evening together. Maybe have some Christmas music. They're going to slam me on it, but I'll find something that will be a little less decipherable. And we're just going to have some fun. But that's next week, December 24th, Wednesday, Christmas Eve, right here, Life of Peter G. The Peter G Show, a Christmas Eve with us. Okay? That's what we're going to do. And I did say I'm going to turn the phones on tonight early. I am. What else we got going on? Oh, please, again, I already kind of touched on subscribing and sharing and following and all that stuff, but it is super important. It really is. And again, I know that, in California, it's, 6 o'clock. It's just after 6 o'clock in the evening. There's people in their cars still driving home from work. So the next best thing you can do is put an earbud in your ear, Google Peter G Show podcast. Now, it's not streaming audio-wise live, but you can listen you can be a week behind on the shows or listen to them the day after because they'll go to audio podcast tomorrow. And you put an earbud in your ear and you can take the show on the road with you. You can listen to it while you're driving. I mean, God knows, man, spending time on those, especially during the holidays until everybody takes off and gets out of LA, the prequel to Christmas, right now, going on the freeways and people that are at malls and this and that, you want to just call it quits. You want to have a helicopter. It sucks. Traffic sucks. You're going to be spending extra time in your car just getting home from work or wherever you're trying to get to. So that's what I'm saying. Help, take a little pressure off the pressure cooker, blow some steam off, listen to the show, put the earbuds in your ears, just Google Peter G Show podcast. I'm telling you, we're on 26 different of those podcast channels that you kids listen to, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, all the above, man. You can find me. We're there. All right? Cool. What else? I'm glad you guys are tuning in. I hope that if you're watching and you're on the official Facebook Peter G Show page, you take the opportunity to comment like a few have already. If you're on the official Peter G Show YouTube page, you can comment and I can see them live. And I'm going to take a survey whether I should turn the phones on in a few minutes or not, but that's entirely up to you guys. I'll put it on if somebody decides to call. Great. If not. Tonight, our president's giving a speech right now. And I'm honestly, I'd probably be tuned into it too. So, just got to hear what's going on. You're going to have the haters and the lovers and, blah, blah, blah. But here we are. So, okay, here's what we're going to do. I want to hear from our good friends over at Clean Star Products because they have a money-saving fuel additive that helps you save money on fuel, better gas mileage, better maintenance on your engine, things like that. Why wouldn't you? Cars are expensive, but don't listen to me. Hear it from them because it works. I'll be right back.
Hello, it's Tyrone Thompson here with Clean Star Products, and we're here with William.
High-end car service.
And we've just serviced his Cadillac Escalade 2024, and we're going to be giving it a go to see what kind of results he'll be getting in his fuel mileage and any performance differences, and be checking with him later.
All right.
Thank you, William, for participating in our environmental program. We're here with High-End Car Services, my friend William, who's been using DX1 for a small time now. what kind of results have you been getting?
Up to 45.1 miles per gallon best results, and the engine has been quieter, and I can definitely feel the power in the engine. I have a diesel.
Thank you so much. We're going to keep going with the program and check in with you later. We appreciate you. The Long Life Engine program with DX1 Driver is the only safe environmental product for your high mileage engine. DX1 is a non-toxic, clean-burning oil that goes into your fuel and your engine oil, providing lubricity for gasoline and diesel engines. You save on average 10% gasoline and 15% diesel fuel consumption. Call now for a price quote and place your order today. It's the Long Life Engine program from Clean Star Products and Tyrone Thompson.
Yep. 2 words. It works. It does. I use it myself. I wouldn't have believed it until I started using it. I have a gas hog. I have a V8. Drinks a lot of gas. But I put this little bitty bottle. Now, the bottle I use is a little bit bigger than this because this bottle services a typical 4-door sedan. You just pour one of these into a clean oil change. When you get your oil changed, lasts the whole oil change. And then every time you fill up your tank with gas, you put this little bottle, another little bottle, into your fuel, fill up your car, and drive. It's that simple. I noticed the difference within about 3 tankfuls, 3 to 4. And I knew it. I could tell. My daughter even noticed it when she borrowed my vehicle. But don't believe me. Here's what I want you to do. Go see them. Go to their website. Go to www.cleanstarproducts. They have all the information right there. You can read up on it. But I want you to even take it a step further because I believe in this stuff that much, and so do they. You're going to have questions. There's a phone number. It's on the website, but I put it up for you. I can't make it any easier for you. 310-200-8931. Right there. If you call them, chances are you may even talk to Ty Thompson himself because he's proud of his product. He's got a product that works, and they know it. So they're going to answer any of your questions. The truth has no problem telling the truth. That goes for a lot of things. Ask them whatever you need. They'll answer your questions, and after you talk to them, should you decide to order, here's the kicker. You mention you saw it on the Peter G Show. You have to do this by calling them. Mention you saw it on the Peter G Show. They will send you 5 bottles for the price of 4 for watching it and saying you saw it on the Peter G Show. 5 bottles for the price of 4, and that's a perfect starter kit to really see if you can tell the difference and start protecting your vehicle, because 1 in the clean oil change, and then you have 4 left for 4 full tanks of gas. That should get you going. After that, if you want to add 1 every tank, that's great. If you want to do it every other tank, once a month, how's that? Good food, good body. I'm telling you, it makes a difference because the 1 in the oil change will last the whole oil change, which is 5,000 miles on average for your average American car. 10,000 if you have a German car or something like that, Mercedes, BMW, whatever. But it works. I didn't have to step on the pedal as much to get it to go. But more than that, lubricity, it keeps everything moving smoothly in the car. Less friction equals less going to see the mechanic. God knows how much, repairs are. So good food, good body. Call them. Call that number. Talk to them. Ask them whatever you want to ask them. And if you decide to order, tell them you saw it on the Peter G Show. They will send you 5 bottles for the price of 4. The deal's the deal. It's the holidays, for God's sake. Makes a great gift. Give it to somebody who's got who needs to take care of their car. Like they don't do enough. It's like they couldn't be any simpler. Just put it in before you put in the fuel and then drive. It's that simple. Yeah. All right. Okay. So as always, before we shift into high gear here, I want to just take a little sip to get the show started. Thank you for everybody who's tuning in. Please, like I said, share, follow, subscribe, whatever. I appreciate you. I do. I know it takes a lot of effort to be dedicated to sit and watch the show. I mean, life is busy. But for those who do, I love you and salute. Oh, yeah. Smooth. Tasty. Yeah. Okay. So, oh, you want him too? What do you think about that, butthead?
Smooth.
Couldn't have said it better myself. All right, so let's I want to just tell you I should. Here's my question to you guys. Should I open the phone lines, put up a phone number, or should I not? I mean, for those watching, it'd be really nice if somebody, did I just whistle? Hey, Sam, it's really swell. Pork chops, applesauce. Oh, wow. Sorry. It's the medication. I know that there's so many people out there that have some kind of story. And a lot of people, the problem is they don't think their story is worthy of telling. But a lot of times it's because it's their story, they lived it, so it's not that big of a deal to them, or it's a big deal, but they don't feel like they want to tell it or whatever, but they don't realize how important it is to share these kind of things, because it helps other people when they're hearing it going, wow, it's not just me, which I learned a long time ago. That's why I do this every year, getting through the holidays, whether I have to talk and tell stories or hear a few from you. So if those of you who are possibly watching want to call in, I'll put the phone number up, but just comment, say, hey, yeah, no, put the phone number up, and then we'll see if anybody calls. And while we're, this happens a lot, and I don't expect a whole lot, but we don't need a whole lot. We just need a couple of people that are, the show goes by like that. I'd love to say we're banging out phone calls one after another, but I'm not set up for that anymore. I don't have a phone screener anymore. And, it's times change. If we get busy like that, depending on the type of show, like things just kind of changed and life shifted. But if you're willing to call in and you're watching on either YouTube, the official Peter G Show Facebook page, that's the only way I can see the comment, say, hey, yeah, turn the phones on. And I'll turn the phones on. And we'll talk about that stuff. But I personally, again, just this week alone, I watch everything. I hover over Facebook because a lot of people, everybody's telling people just need to get it out. They just have a need to get it out and or to be heard for everything. For everything. It's just human nature. And a lot of people, I have to go to the doctor tomorrow, prayers. I just saw one person, his stints aren't working and now they want to do, triple bypass. That's scary stuff, especially when you're in bad shape. I've already, just this week alone, experienced 3 people that are in my loop. Well, 2 that passed away, and 1 of somebody who I'm kind of close to, whose somebody passed away. And it's Christmas time, and it sucks. It sucks. It sucks, period. Even though it's the cycle of life and this and that, I know that a lot of the people in my life that are especially, friends that have passed away way too soon. And I've had to go through this week again. It happens all the time. But then you throw on the holidays, and I'm watching and listening to the people who are in the circle of the person who passed away, and their head's spinning. I get it. Been there, done that. And it's why, and the why, and why now. And let me tell you something. I don't think there's any good time to pass away. I just don't. I don't think there's any good way to pass away. Some people say, well, I'd rather go quick instead of suffering with the C word, or, who knows? Pick your poisons. But it sucks. That much I can assure you, for us, the living. It sucks. And, I watch this, and here we are when we're supposed to be in this environment or time period of the year that's supposed to be joyous and love, and it's Christmas and Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. It's all about family and getting together, and And a lot of people, it's just not in them. You just don't have it in you. You're missing somebody, even who's passed away from a couple of years ago or 10 years ago. I got to tell you, no matter who you lose, if you love that person, you remember exactly how many years they've been gone, and you remember exactly how old they would have been. You just do. You can't remember to do something else every day of your normal life, but you will remember that kind of stuff. I can hear just about every person who's ever passed away in my life that was closer to me. I can hear their voice exactly in my head as if it was yesterday. True to tone, inflection, everything. But yet I can't remember if I told somebody something else yesterday that I spoke to today, and I'll repeat myself. Because I talked to a lot of people, and I don't remember who I said this to and who I didn't say this to, but certain things you carry with you. At least I do. And because they meant something to you. And it's hard. It's really hard. And you try to tell people, it's going to be okay. What else? I mean, what can you say? What can you say? There's so much stuff going on in life. I mean, it's just dragging us all over the place on top of it. And then you have your personal life and people, again, sick or ill. If you die of old age, I mean, you kind of look at it and go, well, God bless it, man. It can't get much better than that. Then you have people I've lost, like I said, somebody close to me. That real, I've just known this person for close to 50 years, since I was 16. Let's see, I'm 97 now. Do the math. I don't know. Known him since I was 16, 40 something years. And I didn't see him every day. We didn't call up, and talk on the phone every day or anything like that. But we had a lot of experiences through those years, on and off. There'd be huge gaps in between. But our friendship still remained. Like when I saw this person, it was just like you didn't feel the time loss. That happens a lot with me, with people that I consider friends, because we just feel like we're picking up where we left off. Now, granted, a lot of stuff goes on in between that time period that we do miss. But our feeling, when I see the person, you don't feel like a stranger, like you're starting over again. And this person died of a heart attack. A friend of mine. It happens, but it sucks. And I, went and I talked to his, I guess you'd call it his widow. I mean, I don't think they were ever really married, but they were together a long time. And I mean, what do you say? What do you say? It's the craziest things. We managed to spend some time without tears, but believe me, I know she's crying a lot, and it even got me because, again, I value my friends, and again, especially more when you feel they left way too early. And there's all types of cases. There's people who just flat out didn't take care of themselves. There's people that suffer from abuse, and eventually it just takes them out. And you go, well, he drank himself to death, and that's just sad. But then you have the people who are like just normal. Just going through life, pretty much everything in moderation, and you got problems. Now, this friend of mine, he had some heart issues. Same thing, he had a couple of stents, and from what I was told, I found out just recently that the doctor said, yeah, we might have to go and replace them or something because there's one starting to give out or this and that, and he didn't make the deadline, I guess, and out of the blue. But again, for us, the living. Now, these people, family, friends, children, spouses, it's the gift. It's a chain reaction of dealing with this stuff. And a lot of people have a very hard time. I think the people who are deceased now, they're probably, I'm really hoping I'm correct. They're doing way better than us. Way better than us. I have certain beliefs about things, about what happens. I want to hope I'm right. Won't know till I know. But I don't believe that we're just, as a friend of mine said, worm food. I believe we have a soul, and it's complicated. It's complicated. But if we all knew all this stuff and all it would affect the way we live now. So it's a guessing game based on your beliefs. But but again, the people that are hurting are the ones who are feeling the loss here right now. And that is really what kind of sucks. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to just put the phone on, and if anybody calls, great. If anybody wants to call, that'd be awesome. If you don't want to call, I got, it wouldn't be a first time. Where are we? I need, we'll go there, and there it is. If you have something you want to talk about on this show, about the holidays, about an experience you've had, a few things have gone on, how you're getting through struggles, the survival stories. If you just got a good story to talk about the holidays, call me now at 818-259-7983. I will try to take your call, share it with everyone. Again, the beauty of this show is this show literally picks up big momentum weeks later down the road when it's running into reruns on demand. Live is hard. You have to be here at a certain time to make it, to catch it live. But there's a lot of people, way more people, that watch this show after it's not live, because any way that you see it, it's better than not seeing it. They may catch it 2 months from now, a month from now, tomorrow. But so long as you're watching, that's all that really matters. And these stories definitely help people get through. And I know it does, because I've been doing this for a bunch of years. I think I've done getting through the holidays since the inception of this show. Because when I started this show, it was all about surviving divorce and single parenting, because that tears you up, splitting your children in half, hoping that it doesn't screw up their brains. And then you get to the holidays when you're at the peak of emotions. And if you don't have a good relationship with your ex while you're going through the holidays, it could be really horrible. And it has been for me. It's in the past, but I got the stories. Or I got the t-shirt. Wish I didn't. But either way, so I started talking about getting through the holidays back when I was going through that stuff, or after I had gone through that kind of stuff, to say, wow, this is real. And the holidays just make everything even harder, because it's the holidays when you're supposed to have unity, love, and joy, and you're at each other's throats in divorce courts and this and that, because it's stupid, because that's what anger does. When you're going through that stuff and you're trying to keep it together, but you're miserable. I mean, it just eats at you, because, you want to have a good time. And who doesn't throw wrenches in the fan during the holidays? And that's another aspect of getting through the holidays. Family issues, divorce stories, losing loved ones. I mean, you name it. There's a million of them, but it's all revolves around getting through the holidays. Getting through the holidays. One thing I want to talk about, I'm going to shift gears just for a minute, but I've been talking about the Bill Gates stuff and digital IDs and all this kind of stuff. And a lot of people are paying attention because it's real. It's very real. And can't say enough how pleased I am that how many people have come together to agree that Bill Gates, all his endeavors have to stop. I don't know how. I don't know why they're still going. He's untouchable because of the deep, all these WHO assholes and the World Economic Forum, WEF, and all these people. They're the cult. The ones. They're the ones trying to just cut this country into pieces and then turn it into a one world order. And they're going to be the heads of it because they know better. They know nothing. And there's one thing that I get on the comments about a lot of this stuff when they comment about Bill Gates and or the mark of the beast and this and that. I get a lot of religious people that make these like Bible quotes and things like that. God bless you. I'm glad you can quote the Bible. I can't, but that doesn't mean I'm any less or more than anyone else when it comes to having some form of accountability and belief. But there's things in this government. People have been talking about this Project Bluebeam for a long time. Project Bluebeam. Keep that name in your head, because there's technologies that are so secret that will never be used until they got to use it because they have to use it. And there's this Project Bluebeam thing I've been hearing, whether it's staging alien attacks and all that to get you, the people, and again, all the vaxxers, the sheep and this and that, the people who are easy to convince that are unaware of this stuff, they want to take control of people. And the only way to do that is to put fear in them. And the biggest one now I'm getting down the pipe is that they are going to create, through holography and satellites and all this technology I know they have technology that could actually beam into your head and put thoughts in your head, like your own inner voice. They've done it. Again, you might call me crazy. I don't care. I'll just put it out there for you to keep in the back of your head. What's it called? It's called So I'm hearing down the pipes that the biggest thing they want to do to get everybody rounded up through religion is to stage the second coming, to stage a being coming down from the skies, talking in all different languages all over the globe through satellites and imaging. And then everybody's going to fall to their knees, and because this is what they've been waiting for. The Bible says it. The ultimate prank. And I fear this because I fear that people aren't going to question it. They're just going to freak out if this ever comes through, and we'll know, and just freak out and abide. And I'm not telling you that there isn't a real God, and I'm not telling you that there may or may not be a second coming or anything like that when Jesus walks the earth again. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that if by any chance something like this should happen, I would still take it real slow and question it, because there's some really evil people in this world that are doing all these things like the old jab and COVID and the digital IDs and fake foods and all this stuff. And all they wanted, that they realized that the one thing they don't have, especially here in the United States, is the belief of the people. They've managed to con a bunch of other places to give in and conform. But the will of the people in the United States, majority, maybe about 80 million, maybe more, aren't playing this crap. But you get something as, how do you do that? You don't know what's going on, and it happens. People are going to freak out. They are going to freak out. And I know there's a lot of gullible people, and I want to believe that the real deal could happen. But I don't put it past the deep evil ends of the deep state and the world governments and the underground things that are going on, because I promise you, there are weapons and things that make weather change and earthquakes that are happening that are caused by humans through technology, and they'll never admit it. They sit on that stuff. They're developing more and more. So I want to play a real quick video for you about this Project Bluebeam, because I don't think I'll have time these next 2 weeks, and I want to make sure that you see this, to have it in the back of your head. Maybe I'll play it again next year or something. But if this ever happens, I just want you to know I told you, and be careful before you start freaking out and believing But here, check this out.
Digital Messiah, the final phase of Project Bluebeam. Imagine one day the sky splits open. A blinding light, a divine voice, and a figure descending from the clouds. Billions drop to their knees, convinced the prophecy has come true. But what if that savior was software? This is the final phase of Project Bluebeam. The alleged plan to merge faith, artificial intelligence, and holographic technology into one global spiritual event. The goal, to unite the world under a single religion, a digital God created and controlled by man. Here's how the theory goes. Massive satellites project a 3D hologram visible from every continent. Advanced AI, already capable of mimicking human speech and emotion, speaks in every language simultaneously. And deep neural voice tech can reproduce the sound of any religious figure, from Christ to Buddha to Muhammad. Scientists call it technological transcendence, but conspiracy researchers say it's psychological warfare, using faith itself as the weapon. Once humanity believes the divine has returned, one authority will rise to guide the new era. The global system that's been preparing for decades. When miracles can be coded and gods can be projected, faith becomes programmable. And whoever controls the code controls belief. So, when the sky opens, will it be revelation or simulation? If a divine figure appeared tomorrow, would you believe it or question it?
Could you imagine that? Can you imagine? And here's the problem. Most people are going to say, no way. They can't do that. They can't do it. Just like when we were talking about direct energy weapons a couple of years ago. No way. It's Star Wars stuff and this and that, blah, blah, blah. Way. But could you imagine if they pulled something like that and everybody's going to freak out and they're going, you must believe me. So then everybody's worshiping this, what they believe to be the return of Christ or whatever their religion is, because it'll be in all different forms. And then you're told to follow. And why wouldn't you? You've been believing all these years. You were raised to believe. And all they're doing is steering you into their narrative. They have their artificial leader. So they got a total grip on you because you believe that's who it really is. It's going to be tough. I'm telling you, they're going to stop at nothing. You may say I'm crazy. These things do not come out because there's nothing else to do. We talked about all kinds of things. I mean, who would have imagined you can just talk to Siri or now all these AIs and they answer your questions instantaneously? 25 years ago, who could have thought that? But in the 60s, Star Trek, they had that little button on the lapel to talk to the computer wherever you were. It listened to you and did what you asked it. 818-259-7983. You could talk about either the holidays, whatever's on your mind, problems you've had, struggling right now through the holidays, you've gotten through, you had bad times in the past, any kind of conversation to share. Any kind of conversation. I just wanted to play that video because I truly believe if they could pull that off, they're going to, because they're that desperate, because they're not getting as many of us to fall into their trap as they wanted. COVID was the big test to see, lock people down, stay in your houses, don't go out, see who's paying attention. And then little by little, people started going, hey, wait a minute. Not everybody, unfortunately. You still got a lot of people that are just taking every booster they can. I pray for them. But they are realizing that it's not going to be as easy. And it shouldn't be easy because this is the wrong kind of stuff. So they're coming up with whatever they can, causing turmoil, disruptions, everything they can to keep everybody separated, everybody at each other's throats, They don't want unity, because unity they'll never be able to beat. That's why I keep saying, whoever, united we stand, divided we fall, couldn't have been a better expression. Because the truth, we need to stick together instead of arguing over. That's what I could do for you guys tonight too. I really wanted to explain. I finally found a good explanation as to why I switched from being Democrat. Now, I don't really care to be Republican either. I don't care to be either, but I had to change because in my mind, things were getting way too crazy. And I found a good explanation because, I don't want to argue with people. I believed in, I'm taking that phone number off. I'll put it back up again if should you decide, but I'm not going to, there's days when people are willing to talk and days when they just want to watch and hear from somebody else or hear something. And I'm cool with that. But, yes, me too. Me too. It's life altering, whether you know it or not. And you can tell people till you're blue in the face. I know people who've gotten multiples, like they're on their 4th or 5th, and don't even need it. Like updates, CVID shots, updates. And I go, what are you doing? Well, I'm going on a cruise, so I want to go get a booster. I go, for what? So I don't get sick. It's like, oh my God, my eyes, my brain is just going crazy. I'm going, what for? But they're that sold. They're that sold on it. That's that percentage of people that's like, and I said, look, I love you. You need to stop doing this. This doesn't work. It's not healthy. And they go, well, there's nothing wrong with me. I go, you're one of the lucky ones. So far. And I go, why would you do that? I go, they don't work. They go, well, yeah, but it does, because if I did get sick, I won't get as sick. One of those lines. I'm afraid of even the flu. They're altering everything. Until we can get this straightened out, I ain't touching nothing. I'm good. Anyway, Steven says, glad I never took the jab. Yeah. A lot of people, there's more people that are glad they didn't than are glad they did, believe it or not. So, as we've gotten into this crazy right-wing, left-wing, Democrat, Republican, libtards, whatever. Libtards are in their own thing. That's a league of their own. I finally found a good explanation. I got 2 videos now if I'm going to get into this to explain to you why I don't believe in the Democratic Party anymore. I just think they're off the rails. They've lost their shit. Doesn't mean I didn't used to believe, but I'm going to tell you that my common sensibility just says what used to be isn't anymore. I mean, that could go with anything. There's a lot of things in your life that, yeah, this was great then. It's not good anymore. And I choose to not either buy it, use it, stand up behind it, whatever. Things change. And I found John Kiriakou. He's an ex-CIA guy. This guy's got great stories. He's got great stories. And I happened to catch him talking about Democrat, Republican. He was a Democrat too. Let me tell you, if you grew up on the East Coast and things like that, I don't know how, but you were a Democrat. You just were. I got lots of friends, Democrats, but I don't get into arguments with them unless they want to, if they choose to be mad at me, that's on them. It will never be on me. I just don't feel that group represents what it needs to represent anymore. I think they've lost their way. And here's a good explanation. So check this out. This is something really important because I need people to understand that I'm just not, if the red team, which again has its own share of problems still, but I had to pick the lesser of both evils. But I don't give a shit. I'll switch in a second. I'm just trying to get some stability here, which how you could think that the blue side is, got that stability is delusional. But here you go. This is John Kiriakou talking about how he switched teams too. This story is basically ditto for me. Pretty much what I would have said, but he says it better, and I like letting him tell the story. So here you go.
Good morning, citizens. Your overnight account balances have...
Oh, and that's not the right one. Here, where the hell is it? Oh, there's Butterfingers. Whoopsie. Here you go.
My position is between 2016 and 2024, we've seen a slow motion watershed led by Donald Trump, where the parties are switching sides again. Maybe not all the way.
Yeah, not all the way, but
like
yes.
we saw in 32.
Yeah.
But it's the Republicans who are the anti-war party, for example. It's the Republicans who are the Labor Party. Listen, when 67% of organized labor families, union families, vote Republican,
nuts. That's nuts.
That's pretty nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, Reagan wished he had numbers like that. And he won a majority, not like Trump did.
Not like that.
So couple that with the fact that the Democrats just have no idea what they're doing right now. It's just a state of chaos over there at the DNC. We don't even know who the Democratic Party's leaders are right now. There are 4 or 5 people who claim to be the leaders of the Democratic Party. Are they? Really?
It's a handful of things.
Mm-hmm.
It's so fit. This is why I feel like it's a uniparty system, because if you gave anyone with a normal head the power to go like run the DNC tomorrow, they could win over the country immediately.
Yeah.
Cut the woke shit.
Right.
Cut the trans shit. Cut the vaccine shit.
Mm-hmm.
Cut the fucking don't look at the border shit. Cut the endless war shit, which I will correct one thing. There is still a contingent of the Republican Party that does support
that. And they came out, they reared their heads this week.
Yes.
Yes.
And then I forget what the 6th one is. There's one more I have in there somewhere. But these are very common sense type things. By the way, stances that like Obama had 10 years ago.
Yes.
And they don't do that. And what's now it's like people are so pissed off about it that I see the hard whipsaw back. And that could have some reverberations that people, including myself, aren't going to like.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just the equal but opposite reaction physics law of life. Like, this is what happens when you go too far with stupid shit. People are going to see through it.
So true.
When I see someone with a Ukraine flag in their bio, I can go through their next fucking 40 policies word for word. And they probably don't even know what these policies mean, but that's what they were told to do.
Absolutely right. And when you see on the evening news Hillary Clinton literally kneeling in front of Henry Kissinger, that's not a brag.
No.
Henry Kissinger's a war criminal.
Yeah.
When you see Kamala Harris championing and announcing her endorsement by Dick Cheney, that is not a brag.
You forgot the IRS too.
And the IRS.
And Diddy clients all the same week.
Yes.
Trifecta.
Yeah, seriously. So, I came from a Democratic family. My grandfather had a framed picture of Franklin Roosevelt on top of the TV all the years I was growing up until he died. I still have the picture. I was a 3rd generation Democrat, and I quit the Democrats in 2012. I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I agree with you that on most issues, we've got a uniparty. 2 sides of the same coin. You can sort of tinker around the edges with some differences, but for the most part, they're the same.
That's me. I cannot stay on a ship that is taking on water, and you know why it's taking on water, because they're drilling holes in the boat, and stay there loyally. And I got to tell you, if you look at the Democratic Party now, there's just a bunch of wild stuff going on. It's like everybody's separate. You got the crazies, and then you got the old schools that are still, but nobody's going in the right direction. Nobody. And I chose to not support that anymore. I couldn't support it just because it's like how do you put that? Somebody's doing wrong and they're not that good, but because you're related to them or something, you have to support them. It's like, no, I see no future. I saw no future in what was going to possibly happen if someone else was elected. And you can call me crazy and say the orange man's nuts and this and that. I think there's a lot of deep stuff going on in the backgrounds that we don't know. because it's just the way it is. And it looks, and again, these people are trying to sabotage him anyway. They did it during the 2016 presidency, and they're doing it again. Except this time he's got a better grip on things. This is only 1 year, going into 1 year. I'm looking forward to this next year. I'm hoping that some heads are going to roll and that it'll all start to make sense. I saw something last night that I think I would want to play the whole show that I watched that explained a lot of things that your average person just would not know. And whether you choose to believe it or not is up to you. But it's a real eye-opener as to why things are so crazy and how come it's taking so long to get things done. You can't just snap your fingers. I've told you this many times. It's easier to tear down a building, to demolish a building, than it's much quicker to demolish a building and ruin it than it is to have to rebuild it. It takes 3 times as long to rebuild it. Well, they demolished it, and now we got to pick up the pieces. They demolished it real good. Real good. But the Democratic Party really is split into 2 right now. They try to make it look like 1, but it's really split into 2. And I truly think that they're screwed because there's going to be a massive takeover by the crazies. And if you want to be a democratic socialist, go right ahead. But it's already starting. But they're pushing out the old folks. And here's a little video, and then I'll
It's
leave.
no secret that the Democratic Socialists of America hate the Democratic Party.
I think we're all on the same page that we hate the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party is not really our friend. It isn't.
So why are the DSA such major players in the Democratic Party? This odd relationship can be understood with the cuckoo analogy. In nature, the cuckoo survives by trickery. It lays its egg in another bird's nest. The unsuspecting parents raise the imposter as their own until the cuckoo grows strong enough to push the true chicks out. The DSA is the cuckoo inside the Democratic Party.
DSA is not the Democratic Party.
We must separate ourselves from the toxic Democratic Party.
We can put forward a clear, aggressive, principled strategy that pushes back against the Democratic leadership and the Democratic Party as a whole.
DSA candidates run as Democrats in safe blue districts. They slip through low turnout primaries. And once inside, they use the Democratic label as camouflage while advancing an extremist anti-American agenda far beyond the party's mainstream.
I don't agree with the Democratic Party, but it's a great tool.
The Democratic is a tool that we use.
Once in office, DSA candidates take orders from DSA's internal enforcers and working groups. City halls and state houses start running as socialist machines controlled by the organization, not the Democratic Party, and certainly not voters.
They have to have a connection with DSA's internal politics, and they have to be committed to the eventual goal of building a separate entity from the Democrats.
DSA are revolutionaries, and the Democrats are their first victims. And in city after city, DSA victories prove their plan works.
I think that the model that we used in New York is 100% replicatable.
And just like the cuckoo, once the DSA grows strong, it pushes the true Democrats out, hollowing the party from within,
building towards political independence and tearing apart the Democratic Party.
The DSA is not here to strengthen the Democratic Party. It is here to consume it.
We're not here to make the Democrats a little bit better. We're here to actually enact socialism. And socialism is not just better capitalism. It's overthrowing the entire capitalist state.
It's our duty, DSA, to cultivate this power.
The cuckoo is in the nest, and New York City is poised to elect not a Democrat, but Zohran Mamdani, an extremist within the DSA.
We understand that winning an election is not an end. It is a means to an end.
The most important thing that we can do is take that empire down from within.
Ultimately to overthrow our own empire.
We need a movement that can drive a stake through the heart of the empire.
We need to orient ourselves towards insurrection.
Can you believe that? They want to destroy their own party with their own party of democratic socialists. Communism, basically. You can call it what you want. But that's what's going on. And you got your AOCs and all these, the crazies and your Crockett's, and they're all screaming and yelling. But you know what? They're getting people. They're getting people because there's no leadership. That's kind of sad. And what's Dan saying? Oh, I got something on here. Angela Rapino calling Moss. I can't read. It's not in English. I don't have a translator. I mean, I can't transform it into English. But for those of you who can read it, there it is. That's a first. That's a first. But I got to tell you, I'm sorry. I'm sticking to my guns because I know crazy when I see it. It's not that hard to notice. But then again, if you are, part of your brain has got that tuning, it looks like good stuff to you. It's insane. Let's Dan say, put the phone up, number up if you want to. Am I getting your juices flowing, Dan? Oh boy, shall we? Okay, let's got you going. I don't think it's probably Christmas stuff that hit you, did it? But where are we at? The phone number, Dan, is where is it? Oh yeah, 818-259-7983. I think Dan's got something on his mind. I'm not sure. We'll find out. That's for sure. But if he wants to call. But I just had to play those things. I wanted you guys to understand that I'm not against anything that's worthy of working. I'm not. I have your number on you. Okay. You have the show number on the phone, on your phone. Okay. Well, I don't know. I guess, did you want me to put the phone up because people are going to call, or you wanted to talk? Because again, I'm just glad. I don't mind that people are watching and listening. I really don't. I think that's a good thing. Look at this. Peter, you look nice, bud, but God is great and he will prevail. That's fine. But I also said last week, don't sit on your ass waiting for God to do something. In the meantime, we need to keep moving forward. I'm all for it. I believe that. I do. Uh-oh. There we go. Hi, I'm Life Peter G. Who's this?
Hey, Peter, it's Dan.
Dan, what got your dialing finger up in an uproar?
Oh, the politics is definitely. But I was actually thinking back on the Christmas time and the bit of a depression and that kind of thing, because I just wanted to share with whoever's listening that in November of 11 years ago, I lost my son who was 29 from cancer. And that's an everyday thing. We think of that. But
yeah,
about 40 years ago, my oldest, she died of leukemia. She was 3 years, 11 months. So I lost two children to cancer.
Wow.
And the perspective I have on it is, it's interesting because I thought this, whatever God there was, he hated me. It was like a punishment. And then that is bogus, but that's how I felt for years. And I drank a long time, and I've been sober for almost 29 years now. So I haven't had a drink 29 years, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
The point I'm making is when Danny died, before he died, I was in New York, and he called me. He said, "Dad, you worked hard all your life. You're a firefighter and took care of us kids. I want you to come down. Let me take care of you the rest of your life." In Myrtle Beach, that's where I live.
Uh-huh.
And so I said, okay, which normally I would argue about it. No, I don't really want to. So I went down. So I got to spend the last 15, 16 months of his life with him. We lived together at a townhouse, and we shared it. So what a gift that was.
Yeah.
But I have good memories, and I would suggest to anyone that if you're feeling down in the holidays, reach out to someone and say that you would like to spend time with them and their family, if that's an option. Because if you're around people, you really kind of loosens you up to this idea of being grateful rather than sitting there and just feeling really bad. But feelings come and go. But people that love you and care about you, love last forever. And that's with people like you.
Hey, Dan, do you think that, when your mind is quiet, when you're alone, your mind really starts screwing with you, and that makes things even worse, right?
I think it does. And I've lived alone for over 40 years. I've been divorced for about 40 years. And I'm used to being alone. I think, I know what I like. I have a lot of great friends that I spend time with. I go to a good church and I have faith. I do. And what you said real quickly, what you said about that, the end of days, that's in the scriptures. It talks about it.
Right.
So I understand that. And I know you know that. But getting off point here, I just think it's important that we reach out to people. That's important. And you know who you can reach out to. And if you can't reach out to somebody that way, maybe go out and help serve food at a homeless place or something like that to get you off your singleness and staying home and thinking about that's all you think about. Get out and do something for somebody else. That really helps. That always helps me.
Right.
And I don't know if that helps or not, but it certainly helped me. And now I think of the memories. I look at the old movies, and yeah, it brings tears to my eyes, and I miss them.
Yeah.
But anyway, I want to share that with you. I don't want to keep you.
No, it's good that you did, even though I appreciate you calling in. Again, you're a long time, veteran of being in here, but, so you know how it goes. I mean, people need to hear this stuff. I mean, my God, losing one child, I can't even imagine, never mind two. And that could take people, that could put them, to where they never recover from stuff like that.
For years, it bothered me, and I went through that process, but I have two children, a boy and a girl. They're both married. I have 6 grandchildren and 4 great-grandchildren.
Right.
And of course, I'm 72 as well, and I'm healthy and I'm doing well. And so, my life is really good and I have to be grateful.
Yeah.
I got a roof on my head. I got a nice place. I have food, the simple stuff.
But I think a lot of the people that are not as, like you've got years under your belt of dealing with it, good and bad, and you've kind of got a grip on it. That's something that you never can get over. You just learn how to live with it. But a lot of people just reaching out for help. I know people that I have somebody who suffers from bad depression, and he's like, I said, you call me because this is like depression to where like he thinks about, offing himself and things. And I'm going, dude, just call me. I don't give a shit what time of night it is. If I'm awake, I'll answer. And he said, and then he goes, but when you're in that moment, you don't feel like you want to bother anybody. You know what I mean?
You're right. And I have a friend that has been talking about suicide for the better part of a year that I've known him. But he's also coming to grips with it, that it's a permanent solution to a temporary problem. That in that phrase that I've heard so many times, you just, once you do it, you're done.
Yeah.
And a lot of people who commit suicide, veterans,
yeah.
I have friends, veterans and stuff, but it seems to be reaching out and dealing with your friends. Your friends, and if you don't have friends, you have to go out and do something for somebody else. And maybe I'm missing something, but I think there was a time I didn't want anybody around me.
That's the problem.
That's where you get right.
You got to go through the ups and downs. I mean, nobody just can easily. I mean, again, this passing of a friend of mine here, just for his widow, so to speak. It's only been days, and she's expecting to recover. They say it's only been a couple of days. You cry your eyes out, do whatever you need to do. It's what are you gonna do? I mean, no, but it will get easier to live with, but. You can't just snap your fingers on emotions. That's tough.
No, you can't. You're absolutely right, Peter, and I agree with you.
Yeah.
And, and I've had friends came to my house and knocked on the door and how you doing? Let's go for a walk and I did.
Yeah.
But I was, I learned a lot because I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the time he was, like my son, that he was there.
Yeah.
That I got to spend time with him. That I didn't even think of that for a couple of years after he passed. Never put that in perspective. But you're right. But I didn't, I didn't want to hurt myself because,
no,
I have an ego. I couldn't go to my own funeral and see how beautiful it was.
Look, I think the reason, again, I encourage for like just what you're saying is talking to the people that are in the beginning stages of, they just can't seem to get past that point where you kind of say for being grateful, they're not, they're still at the why me, why, that stage. And so hearing both sides of it, seems easier said than done, but it's not easy. It's something you just learn to live with. I mean, because you're alive.
Right.
And grateful.
But there you have to motivate yourself, because you look at yourself and you think, what should I do? What would they want me to do if they're gone now? What would they really want me to do?
I know.
And ask somebody it's not easy to ask for help. No. It's not a weak strength. People don't see it as people see it as a weakness, especially men.
Yeah.
We don't like talking about feelings
or ask for directions.
That's right. Just get more gasoline in the tank and keep going.
That's right. Well, look, it's
another. Yes.
It's a bitch. Yeah. Again, what do you're one of the luckier ones in however if you want to call that lucky. I mean, because you've managed to come full circle and find the upside or the brighter end of it. But again, I seem to always be experiencing, maybe because it's fresh, or when I find these people, but it's, there are a lot of people hurting, whether it's even financial difficulties or whatever, the holidays, especially now you're at, you remember the people who aren't there that you wish were there, that kind of stuff.
True. But I do have faith. I mean, I'm a Christian. I church and I read the scripture so I do have a faith, but that's relatively new to me actually within the last couple of years. So to be honest with you, but it's difficult at that time when they're gone. I remember when he died, it was a horrible death.
Yeah.
He couldn't breathe and he died and he was 29 and strong, and it just I wanted to be by myself.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I know. I hear you. I'm sorry.
Merriest you ever had in your life, and I'm sure your daughter's getting big and tall and pretty and
she's
healthy.
God bless. She's going to be 20 on Saturday. It's killing me. I mean, she's a good 20.
You're a good father. You talk about, you know what I mean? I've heard some of the stuff over the years, how you spoke about her and how you spend time, and you go to Pensacola, I think it is, and spend time with your friends there.
Yeah.
And by the way, I want to let you know, I have a good friend, Norm, whose mother is the sister of Joe Picaro, and that's Steve's cousin. And it was Jeff's and Michael's cousin, and he grew up around in Connecticut. Anyway.
Yeah, I know. I met some of the family up there back when I was out with them, and it was a trip, but it's been quite a while. God, like I said, time is flying, and
that was a great.
Yeah, it was good. It was good talking with Steve because again, I don't get to speak to many of these people. Who we've had a lot of being in bands and on the roads and stuff like that. It's very intimate. It's deep. It's not like the working environment of a corporation or something like that. It's a lot different. And so the connections are there, but we all dance in different circles now, and time is just going by. And again, just like you said, my daughter, I'm still crazy as hell about my child, and it should be like that with your children, but things change and they're getting older and colleges, and it's going to be a lot of change for me coming up right now and things that after the first of the year, but we're all here and I'm grateful.
Did you ever meet Aunt Liz, like everybody calls her? That's Joe Picaro's.
Yeah, Aunt Liz, and I talked to about, and it was Uncle Norm. It wasn't it?
Yeah. That's the and it's his son.
Okay.
He lives in Myrtle Beach. We were neighbors. We both moved to different houses now. But I'm going to go over and see them. They're going to. She's coming down. Aunt Liz is coming down on Sunday.
Uncle Norm. I met Uncle Norm when we were in Connecticut, and he was a character, and we had him so hyped up, like we were trying to get. He wanted to come on the road with us, and I just remember, and Aunt Liz was like, "Oh, he ain't going nowhere. He's not going." This was 2002. I mean, it's 20 years ago, but that's how it feels like yesterday to me, but it's really been quite a long time. My history is fading fast, unfortunately.
Well, I'll mention your name to her.
She'll never remember. But
who knows? He's got a good memory. He calls me.
I mean, but back then, we were just flying in and doing what we did, and we're out. It wasn't like it was like the family part of the band. You know what I mean?
I understand.
But anyway, again, I'm very grateful. Believe me, I'm grateful for everything, even my ass ache. Somehow or another, I got something out of them, and that's why I'm sitting here in this seat. The God works in mysterious ways. I never thought I'd be sitting here and with a tie on. The only reason I realized I could wear ties is because I went to divorce court so much and had to go buy suits that the people thought that I was the attorney. Because I was a jeans and t-shirt guy my whole life because of music. You didn't have to do this kind of thing, but here I am, and everything kind of led me in this direction, and here we sit, and that's all fond memories. And I hope someday I could have a set big enough to bring on and do some of this music stuff before it's too late, but only time will tell. I can only keep trying. That's all. But
great job.
All right, brother.
Great job.
Merry Christmas.
Right,
if I don't talk to you, I hope you join me next week. I got Tony Green on. She's a hoot.
I'll be home that night, and after I go to my friend's early dinner, I'll bring my empty Tupperware and then leave.
All right, there you go.
God bless you, and I love you, Pete.
I love you too. Thank you, and again, thank you for being a long time. Just watching me go through all my hell. So thank you.
A blessing.
All right, I'll see you later.
Okay. Good night.
Bye. And there we go. Dan, bringing it. I forgot that he lost not a child, but two grown children. That's a feeling just the thought of it just could take me to my knees. How you survive that kind of stuff. And that's why we talk about it, because it's his wisdom of going through it and surviving. What the hell am I doing here? Hang on a second. His wisdom of going through it and surviving it and sharing that little bit of a story. Anybody catches it, for those of you listening, you got people who might need to hear that, share it. You could be saving somebody a lot of hardship by letting them hear something that's relatable to them. It's really important. So where the hell, Tommy, now I'm looking at comment. Tommy. Well, look at you, Tommy. You're on fire tonight, aren't you, buddy? Here, Tommy. Take it real quick. I only got a few minutes left, but 818-259-7983, Tommy. 818-259-7983. I'll take your call. I got a few minutes left, and then we're going to call it a day. Till next week, Christmas Eve. If you want to call me, 818-259-7983. We can try. I'll give you 10 seconds, but I don't hear from you because I got to shift gears. 818-259-7983. I know there's an 8-second delay. And then can you get your fingers together? Can you get a pen and pencil? Don't forget, next week, celebrity psychic medium Tony Green is going to spend Christmas Eve with us here on the show. We're just going to talk stuff. 818, Tommy, 259-7983. Going once. Oh boy. What the hell is he doing? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What? Call the number. You said you were saying you wanted to call me. I'm letting you call me. 818-259-7983. Okay. Give you 30 seconds more. Otherwise, I'm turning it off because I got to keep moving here. I'm at the 120 mark. 818-259-7983. That's the number you would call. Talk to me right now, Tommy. 15 seconds. Phone doesn't ring in 15 seconds, I'm unplugging it because I'm not going to catch it last minute and then go overtime. Going once. 818-259-7983. Going twice. Tommy. 818-259-7983. And we're gone. Okay, I don't know what happened. It looked like you were chomping at the bit to call, but I had somebody else on the other line, and he had something worthy to say, and I was not going to. But here's what you can do. You can, take that number down for the future. I always open up the phones a lot of times, and nobody wants to say nothing. You can always. There's always another show you can talk. All right, look. I want to remind everybody next week. I want to thank Dan again for opening up. He watches this show a lot, and he'll contribute because it's something worth talking about. As hard as that topic is, I think it's a really hard topic. But anyway, he's been around. He knows what I do, and he still watches this show. How much better is it than that? I want to remind you, next week, Wednesday, December 24th, Christmas Eve, I am going to be here at work. We are going to spend Christmas Eve together. Why not? I'm going to have celebrity psychic Tony Green on the show with me, just being her. And let me tell you, the normal side of her, you'd never know that she's got this gift to talk to the other side or things like that, because she's just what the hell is that? She's just a hoot. I like messing with her. She's easy to make laugh. She's easy on the eyes. She's going to join me right here Christmas Eve with you guys, so we can just enjoy the holiday. I think Christmas Eve is a real intimate time, and we're going to spend it here for those of you who maybe home alone, whatever. Let's just spend it together. Okay? Next week, Wednesday, Christmas Eve, Wednesday, December 24th, Christmas Eve, right here on Life of Peter G, the Peter G Show. We're going to spend it together. Okay? And that's it. All right. I love you guys. I hope that some of these stories or things that I've even told you, make some kind of sense. What the hell is that? I hope it makes a lot of sense, but we'll pick it up next week. Next week, we're just going to enjoy Christmas Eve, and that's where we're at. Any comments? You could always write to the Peter G Show at info@petergshow.com. Tell me what you're thinking. Maybe you got something you want to, I get people that write me that want to come on the show, wrote a book, talk about certain topics, this and that. Please share. Follow, and subscribe. If you're on YouTube, subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. It's that easy. It doesn't hurt anything. If you're on the official Peter G Show page, hit the follow button. It's that easy. We are killing it on Facebook, and I appreciate you for that. But, it's always been a challenge with YouTube, but I'm not giving up on them. They'll stop beating me eventually, or, censoring me, and eventually they'll leave me alone, maybe. But I won't. I'm not an easy quitter. I don't give up. All right. I love you guys. Is there anything left I have to tell you? No, there isn't. Enjoy your week. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please share it for people who need to hear it. See you next week. Stay out of trouble. Don't, the holidays are a little bit stressful. Traveling, shopping, driving, all the above. Please be patient. All right. Be kind. Be kind. Be kind. You don't have to take a bunch of crap from people, but you don't know what they're going through. So just take a breath before you speak. You don't have to be an ass. Just kind of let it go. Don't escalate situations that don't need to be, all right? My name is Peter G. I want to thank everybody for watching. I do. I love you for it. I know what it takes, and I appreciate it. I'll see you next week right here with celebrity psychic medium Tony Green as we spend an intimate night of Christmas Eve. I don't think it can get any more personal than that. And I hope you join me, all right? I love you guys. See you next week. And what? I just blanked out. And oh yeah, and peace out.
Peter G Show, Peter G Show, Divorce Dad.